As y'all can see right yonder, that right there is my Dodge Ram. Actually, I have two Dodge Rams, one for racing and one for drifting, and this is my racing Ram. It has been featured in many videos on this channel in the past, and I'm sure to be featured in many videos in the future. But one thing that it hasn't really been featured in is quick match races. That's because, well, some of the races in the past haven't gave it the best chance to win or any chance at all to win. But now, I have been able to win not just one, but two quick match races in the Dodge Ram. So now, I'll show you the tune for what I used to win and then a replay of one of the two wins with it. So, I hope you all enjoy, and here's the tune first. This quick match is for sport soft tires, so remember to use them. Lower tires will be slower. And then here's the suspension. I don't know why this works, but it does. It's sort of worked on a few of the more tight four-wheel drive vehicles, and obviously a Dodge Ram being a pickup truck, it's not exactly the loosest vehicle in the world, so it does work. I didn't quite make it a drift tune, but it does sort of drift if you want it to. Then here's the transmission. Remember, this transmission will only work if you do all the parts on Gran Turismo logic, but again, you should put all the parts on anyway because it only goes up to 557 where I didn't do oil change. You want all the performance points possible, and you can only get to like 564 with the oil change, so you want all the parts anyway. Anyway, here's the differential and the torque split. And then for ballast, nothing, and all weight reduction and all that. You want it as light as possible too. It's still 1,777 kilograms. That's pretty heavy. But anyway, to the replay, folks. Here we go. I've actually won two races in the Ram. One race was, well, y'all have seen videos of the Dirty Endurance Racing League. It was kind of like that, and that's going to get its own separate thing. This is a pretty nice running of a race. There's really no 100% completely clean quick matches, but anyway, here we go, folks. Hope you all enjoy. This is how you win a race in a Dodge Ram. I've only been able to win in a short field, not more than, well, actually, I think this was the longest. It was it four cars in this race? I think it was four in the other one, too. I might win one in the future. I don't know if the field size has that much to do with it, but nonetheless, I haven't won in a field bigger than four. But anyway, here you go, folks. The Ram pretty much beats everything off the line. Once it gets to about 100 miles an hour, it evens out, and once it gets to about 120, it starts being a bit slower. But nonetheless, it is pretty fast, especially for being almost, or actually over 40 performance points now without the oil change. But anyway, as you can see there, the McLaren was fast, but it got a little bit loose there, so now it's still Dodge Ram in the lead. But as of now, there's a ZZ2 coming up quicker than Lickety Split, but so is actually that McLaren. It's right back to where it was. That McLaren is most definitely fast there, so it's trying to get past Dodge Ram all it can. But remember, this has penalties, so you can't exactly just ram your way past the Ram, so he has to take his time. That Ram does take up quite a bit of track there. It's definitely wider than any of the other cars in this race. I think it's probably even wider than that Cuda. Let's ignore that Cuda. But that McLaren's coming up pretty fast there. It is definitely faster than the Ram on the straights, but a mountain will slow you down quicker than pretty much anything else. And he does indeed hit the mountain there, so he doesn't quite get the pass done. So as of now, the Dodge Ram still has the lead, and it's not really blocking. He's putting it pretty clean. And he's going into the final turn there. Let's see if he can lead this lap. He has a pretty decent lead now, but oh, good lord above. That McLaren is really fast on the straights. And I'm pretty sure it did indeed lead that lap, so it goes into the braking zone. Oh, it spun out there. Got on the brakes too hard there, and it spun out. So that gets the Dodge Ram into the lead, but that ZZ2 still lurking back there. For a minute, it was pretty much really close to Dodge Ram's back bumper until that McLaren passed, but now that the McLaren wrecked, the ZZ2 has time to pounce right yonder. It is a little bit loose there, a little bit laggy there, combination of both, but it still is pretty close. So let's see if it can get a move done. And not exactly, folks. Not exactly. But that does get the McLaren back into it. Now that the ZZ2 wrecked, the McLaren's right on its back bumper, and I think it is a little bit faster than the ZZ2, so if it can make a move on the McLaren and get second place back pretty quick, it can probably catch the Ram. But let's see if it can get a move done right yonder. It is a little bit faster on the straights, but I don't know if he's going to quite have time to pass here. Remember here, he got on the brakes too hard once, so he's probably not going to get on the brakes too hard again in case he wrecks once again. But nonetheless, that's a little bit of lag right yonder, which is good for the Ram there being out in the lead. The more the second and third place battle, the more the Ram will get away in theory. But this is a straightaway, so he's probably not going to get away too much right yonder. But that McLaren actually got a penalty there because, from what I could tell, lag. I don't even really think that was that much dirty racing. So nonetheless, ZZ2 has a pretty decent margin on third place, but the Ram has a pretty decent margin on second place. Let's see if the ZZ2 can catch the Ram in less than a lap. I'd say the top drivers in the ZZ2 definitely could, but let's see how fast this driver is. He's looking pretty good right yonder despite the lag, which is quite a bit of lag if you ask me. But as an edge racing alone, so that lag's not really hurting anybody or himself that I can tell, so he's doing a pretty good job catching up there as far as I can tell. It's hard to tell the exact speed he's going, but I think it is pretty fast there. It looked like he about spun out, but apparently not. But that Ram is also doing pretty competing good too. But again, this is pretty much a straightaway. There's little turns on it, but they don't really have to slow down for. So they're going to catch up a little bit. But I don't think that McLaren's going to have time to catch up, and neither is the ZZ2. The McLaren wrecked too much there, and the ZZ2 just wasn't quite fast enough. So what it looks like, the Dodge Ram is most likely going to take the win here. He gets across the final turn good, so it looks like the Dodge Ram is going to take the win in the quick match right yonder. It's pretty cotton-picking impressive there to win in a pickup truck against supercars. I'd say that was a pretty clean race and a pretty good race right yonder that the Dodge Ram was able to win. So, hopefully it can win some more quick matches in the future. Yeehaw.